Hey, welcome Kirby World. This is Randy McCreary from Kirby World headquarters in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm the recruiting field sales specialist for North America, and I'm here in Daniel Blaylock's office, the president of North American Field Sales for Kirby.
Right. And before we turn it over to John, we do want to point out we have Sell a Kirby Day that is coming up this March 13th. We want to make sure everybody's ready for Sell a Kirby Day. We want to make it our best day in business, most profitable day in business as well by selling the most amount of Kirby's. And hopefully, for all the salespeople listening, you've got a couple free Kirby's to cash in off your Kirby Life recruits. So if you haven't already started the Kirby Life recruiting, the best recruits are friends, family, fathers, mothers, sons, daughters, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews. So if there's somebody you know that's looking for work, bring them in now. Maybe Sell a Kirby Day. They might end up selling, if not their first, for the $100. Maybe it's their sixth sale, which would then award the sponsor a free Kirby, right?
How positive would that be in a push month that maybe on Sell a Kirby Day the 13th, have 2 or 3 or 4 Kirby Life recruits that had their 6 sales in, and you were selling 3 or 4 free Kirby's on that day. That could be a huge payday for a Kirby dealer who takes advantage of winning this Kirby mug and take advantage of Kirby Life recruits, which is why we're talking about this.
And I don't know about you, Randy, but it just seems like when you drink coffee out of a Kirby Life recruiting mug, it just seems to taste better. Have you noticed that?
You drink anything out of this cup, it tastes good, but coffee definitely tastes better.
Right. And no better way to enjoy your morning caffeine with Pedano than with a nice freshly brewed cup of caffeine in a Kirby Life mug, because you brought in the Kirby sponsor. But look, if you're not going to recruit the Kirby Lifer for the coffee mug, which I think alone is a good enough reason, maybe you're doing it for the $100, because we know when you sponsor somebody and they make their first sale, the distributor will pay you $100 cash when they get their icebreaker, right? It's a smart investment for the distributor, and it also pays you $100 cash. Right. When that recruit gets their 6th sale, you then receive a free Kirby. And if you're going into a push month or a Sell a Kirby Day, wouldn't it be nice to have a couple free Kirby's?
It would be awesome. You know, in Kirby Life, I've always said is a win-win scenario, because not only does it benefit you, but you also change the life of the person you're bringing in, because you extend that Kirby opportunity to them. But I think enough about the Kirby Life mugs. We should pass this over to John and hear from John Pedano right now, who's ready to give you an education and training seminar to help your dealers sell more Kirby's all the way through February and get geared up for March.
Hey, good morning, Kirby World. We are positive. Hey, I just want to remind everybody, wear your mask, social distance, wash your hands, and look at, I am by myself. So I am going to take my mask off. And today I want to talk about Micron Magic Filtration. We know filtration is important to the consumer because all machines out there advertise Micron filtration. But Kirby by far and away is the best. And I want to make sure that you understand that to do a proper vac kill, you want to do a great filtration presentation. So I'm going to go through it. But before I do, I want to make sure that everybody understands 2 things. I've got 2 different types of dirt pads here. I have one that's the milk pads, they're called, where they're not electrostatic. And the SP number on those is 504501. 504501. Those are the milk pads or non-electrostatic filtration. And then I also have Micron Magic pads, where the SP number is 504502. So make sure you want to have both these filters in stock so that you can go ahead and do this filtration test in every single home. Believe me, this will sell you tons of Kirby's. And again, the best way for me to do it is to do it just like I was in a customer's house. So John and Mary, let's face it, filtration's important. Let me ask you a question. If you had a vacuum that had great suction, but it had lousy filtration, would it do you any good? Probably not, because it's just going to be putting all the tiniest particles back into the air where you and your family could breathe it in again. If we reverse it and it has this great filtration but no suction, is it going to do you and your family any good? And the answer to that is no again, because all it's going to do is it might keep all the dirt trapped inside the container, but it's going to be leaving all the dirt in your carpet. And let's face it, we know when there's dirt in your rug, if I walk on the rug, all I'm doing is stirring that dirt up, making it airborne again, where now we're more likely to breathe that stuff in. So with Kirby, and the reason they do that is very simple. If we're going to make a bag that keeps all the dust and dirt trapped inside, all we really have to do is make the openings in the bag so small the tiniest particle can't get out. The trouble is when you do that, guess what else won't get out of your bag? Air. So they sacrifice their suction to have this great filtration. But what Kirby's done is we've come up with what's called electrostatically enhanced filtration. And what we did, John and Mary, is we took this exact same material and we charged it full of static electricity. So the air passes freely through the bag, but it's the static electricity that keeps the dirt trapped inside. This, on the other hand, is what we call a mechanical filter. And all they do is filter by stacking layers upon layers to keep the dirt trapped inside. The trouble is the tiny particles work their way out and get back into the air. To give you an idea of what I'm talking about, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 of these regular filters and I'm going to put 1 electrostatic filter underneath it. And then what I'm going to do is take 4 electrostatic filters only, and then put 1 electrostatic underneath those 3, and then we're just going to compare the bottom one. Now, what I'm going to do is take my mints. What do I do with my mints? Live we are. So I got my mints. So I'm going to put 1 mint on the bottom on the electrostatic filter. And the first one we're going to do, John and Mary, is we're going to do the regular filters first. And so these are the regular filters first. This would simulate your machine. Roll out the Kirby. We got the dirt on the run. Oh my Lord, John and Mary. And again, I want to remind you, all this dirt isn't your fault. Plain and simple, it's your vacuum cleaner's fault. Holy moly, can you believe this? Unbelievable. So these are the regular filters. So now I'm going to do the exact same thing, but this time I'm using 4 electrostatic filters only. Now, and then what we're going to do is just compare the two. So here we go. By the way, let me give you a little tip. Vacuuming can be boring. So when you vacuum or do any cleaning, do it like you're in fast forward. Move quick, keep that customer involved. Oh my Lord. Folks, I probably start to sound like a broken record after a while. Just kidding. But take a look at this, folks. Holy smokes. Now, let's compare. The top ones, if you can see it, are both equally dirty. So here's the first regular filter, the second regular filter, the third regular filter, and oh my Lord, that's all the dust and dirt that leaks back into the air that you and your family are breathing in again. Now, this is the electrostatic filter. You see the top one. But take a look at this. The second one is spotless. The third one is spotless. The bottom one is spotless. Let me have my mint. John and Mary, would you care for a mint? Just kidding, folks. But see, folks, it's easy to see by getting a Kirby, not only are you getting the best machine that removes the dirt out of your carpet, but you're also getting a machine that's going to keep the dirt trapped inside in the bag so you can throw it out with the rest of the stuff, right? Folks, if you do that filtration test and compare the two, and even if you don't have a mint, take the bottom one, breathe it in, and of course, nobody would ever want to do it with this one, right? And again, Kirby doesn't just give us 4 layers. The Kirby actually gives you 7 different layers with the bag and the outer cloth bag, keeping everything trapped inside. Now, last thing, don't forget, bring in a buddy, get yourself a beautiful Kirby coffee. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot to disinfect. Let me go ahead and disinfect this chair super quick. Notice today, I do not have the nozzle on, so we're good to go just in the spray unit. A little bit goes a long way. Here we go. In a minute or less, if there's coronavirus, it's going to be dead. And within 4 minutes, it kills other bacteria, other viruses. So there you have it. Folks, make sure you incorporate a Micron Magic filtration pitch into every vac kill and every presentation. It helps you build maximum value in the Kirby, and it also makes it a lot easier to close the sale when you do a great presentation, right? Let me turn it back over to Dan and Randy.
That was absolutely amazing. That's why John Pedano is the sales manager of the Kirby Company. And if you guys can learn to do what John just did, wow, you'll sell every one of them. And I also couldn't help but notice when he applied the BioS, the Kirby disinfectant. I don't know if you saw what I saw.
Yep. I noticed that it was the second time in a row that he didn't use the Suds gun cap. He just used the spray gun,
Yeah,
which is the proper way.
he actually removed the nozzle and it was able to spray out normally like it's supposed to.
Right, and disinfect and sanitize that area before leaving the home. It was positive.
Absolutely was. Look, until next time, we hope you enjoyed Morning Caffeine with Pedano. We will see you next Tuesday.